Hello, lovely people out there in the world. How are you all doing? Is everyone okay? Let me know in the comments. I'm Kate Hill, giving you the best unbiased and honest commentary about our property markets, so stay tuned. In such a high value market as we are experiencing at the moment, when investors are often making their very biggest purchasing decisions, understanding the key factors around how to negotiate when purchasing property in order to secure the very best deal is critical. Getting your head around these key considerations to ensure you get the right property at the right price can mean the difference between great success and real failure as a property investor. And of course, when dealing with such large amounts of money, understanding how to negotiate to help secure the right price at the right time, it can mean the difference of tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your investment. So how do you negotiate the best deal when purchasing a property? What are these key considerations? Let's look at some of those key points. Having a close understanding of the area and the property, knowing the market, understanding the seller's motivations and attitude, ensuring your planning is up to date, and knowing exactly what you can afford, considered communications, questioning and listening skills. Negotiation is about a lot more than just opening your mouth and going for it. Having really done your research on the property and surrounding area is critical. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the property and that area? What are the short, medium and long-term economic drivers that will ensure the property performs as you expect it to? What did similar properties in the area sell for recently? And I mean similar. What are the unique points or issues about that particular property that could affect its value? It's important that you compare like for like properties and consider differences in land size, building materials, any features such as garages, pools, granny flats. Take into account the difference in value that these will make. Talk with the local real estate agents and compare their feedback with the data you can get online. Having a close understanding of that property means that a professional inspection has been done and you clearly understand any issues or potential issues that can come up. Having a feel for the community and the neighbours is important too. Will the feel and style of the area be attractive to the kind of tenants living and moving into that area? Ensure that you understand the property title and check for any issues that could impact the price or the real sale value from that perspective. When looking at units, a thorough understanding of the owner's corporation fees and activities around any maintenance, their capital fund for improvements and their level of engagement and expectations is essential. Knowing the market is about understanding the key buying conditions in that particular area. Is it hot, cold, neutral? You can't assume that the buying conditions are the same in this particular area as in another area or state that you might have purchased in a few years ago or where you live yourself. What do local sellers expect in a contract with terms and conditions? What deposit amount is usual? These considerations can vary massively from city to city and from state to state. Using an independent property agent who knows the market, knows how to negotiate, and who has your best interests at heart can really help here. We buy property every week, every day we're negotiating. We know how to negotiate. Don't get caught up with the one convincing local or friend's opinion. Gather information necessary to ensure that you have a very clear idea of the area and the property. Think about what the vendor's expectations are. Why are they selling? What are their motivations? Successful negotiations will include talking with the seller's agent. Having an open and positive relation here helps to build trust. The seller's agent may provide good insight into what the seller's real motivations and key considerations are for that sale. If the seller wants to sell quickly, for example, then offering Quick terms and turnaround times can be more impactful and successful than a higher bid price and a slower process. Maybe they want to stay on for a few weeks and because they're buying themselves. Maybe they'd like a longer settlement. So while I'm not suggesting that you bend over backwards to accommodate every whim and you have to make sure your finances are in place, it can be super helpful to meet them halfway, not in price. It can be the difference between securing the deal and not. Having an independent buyer's agent and advisor in your corner can help, of course, with all of this, and especially in ensuring that you have that detailed property plan in place before you purchase anything. Know why you're doing it. Once your particular circumstances are professionally considered and allowed for, your risk profile is fully understood, and any other considerations around your circumstances have been taken into account, then you will know exactly what you can afford and have a very clear limit on what it is that you can spend. So with this knowledge in mind, your comfort at the negotiating table will be clear and put you in a really powerful position. You're not going to succumb to vulnerable, emotional overbidding at an auction, for example. Being a good listener and question asker is perhaps the key talent of a successful negotiator. Using questions rather than statements when negotiating helps a great deal. Not only provides insights, but allows the seller, through their agent, to express real motives as well as feel listened to and cared about. Don't underestimate that. To test what the limits of the vendor's agent and seller might be, a good negotiator might often use a series of thoughtful, considered questions, asking something like, would the seller prefer a quick sale? It leaves the door open for yes responses rather than saying, hey, I could make a really fast transaction. Might not be their motivation. A series of small yeses builds trust, and it makes it more likely to get the big yes at the end of the negotiations when agreeing the price. Once a final price is almost agreed, and a good negotiator can close the deal, plus benefit from some small extras relevant to the particular deal. For example, that you could ask, if we commit to that price right now, will the owner pay for some of those items that need fixing? This means that the final negotiated price suggested by the seller is potentially agreed by you right now, but with some incentive to sweeten the deal in return for an immediate commitment to the purchase. It provides the opportunity for the seller to finalize the sale immediately and suggests a commitment today based on something relatively small that could save you thousands of dollars and hassle at the end of the day. Having your due diligence in place puts you in a position of incredible strength. I honestly can't stress this enough. Clearly being comfortable with the details of the property, the area, the seller, good negotiation tactics along with their own limitations sets the buyer up for the best possible outcome. The old saying is, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. It rings most true when it comes to significant investments like property. And ensuring that you have all your ducks in a row and are fully organized and prepared before going into negotiations is fundamental to the success of a professional property investor. So go for it, people. I'm going to keep talking to you about all things property. So don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like buttons if you are enjoying all my free content, and I will see you soon. Bye.